All right, so today we're gonna go over constructions. Constructions just means building, but here's our important words first. Congruent means same. Segment, remember, is just a segment as so. A bisector cuts something in half. Parallel lines are two lines that will never touch. Two lines that will never touch. Really, this lesson is mainly about process of elimination. And then perpendicular lines are two lines that make a right angle. A perfect right angle. Copy means you're just copying something. An arc is going to be a kind of thing like this. It makes a circle, but in geometry, it's just only a part of the circle. And then obviously a circle. All right, so our first question. The diagram shows the arc used to construct PT. So PT is this right here, all right? Which construction is illustrated in the diagram? So what I want you to think about when you're thinking about these is read the answer choices and eliminate stuff you know it can't be true. So congruent segments. Remember, segment is a segment like this. So you have congruent segments. Then we have segment bisector. So segment bisector is cutting segment in half. Then we have bisector of an angle. Cutting angle in half. Then we have parallel line through a given point. Remember, parallel lines have to look like this. So, given everything I just told you about these words, which answer do you think would be the best answer for this construction right here? Very good. You should have picked C. If you didn't, that's okay, but let me explain why it's C. So you have bisector, cutting an angle in half. They gave you this angle, QPR. They gave you this angle, right? And this line right here, what's it do to the angle? It cuts it in half. All right, so let's try the next one. All right, the diagram below shows the arcs used to draw a line segment CD. So we drew CD intersecting at the point M being the midpoint of AB. So we know M is the midpoint. So congruent segments, so same segment, kind of like a copy. Segment bisector, cutting segment in half. Angle bisector, cutting angle in half. Or parallel lines. So, given those four answer choices, which is the best answer choice? Very good. You should have picked cutting segment in half, segment bisector, because we had AB and we cut it in half at the midpoint M. So, our next one. Given angle B, we're given angle B and endpoint G with the segment and the arcs to create the final image. What construction is illustrated in the diagram? This is the final picture we got. So we had this to start with B and then G. We started with an angle and somehow we got to another angle. So thinking, we have copy of a segment. What does copy of a segment mean? You just made the same segment. Then segment bisector. What does segment bisector? Very good. Cut segment in half. Then you have copy of an angle. Copy of an angle, meaning made the same angle. Then you have perpendicular lines. What are perpendicular lines? Very good. Two lines that cross at a 90-degree angle. So out of those four answer choices, what is the best answer? Very good. Copy of an angle. We started with an angle and we ended up with an angle. So you copied the first angle we had to the second angle. So, sorry. Right here. Below shows line L and the arcs from the point Y. Which construction is illustrated in the diagram? So, construction of parallel lines. Does this at all look like parallel lines? No. Very good. Construction of perpendicular lines. Is there a perpendicular line forming anywhere? No. Very good. Construction of a triangle. Can we see a triangle happening? Maybe, yes. Who knows? And then construction of a bisector. Are we cutting the line in half? Is this equal to this side? No. So, if we use process of elimination, C is our only answer that makes sense. Alright, so the diagram shows the arc used to construct QR. So we made QR. Given JK and Q. Which construction illustrates in the diagram? So, congruent segments, segment bisector, parallel lines, perpendicular lines. Which answer choice represents the best answer? Very good. Congruent segments. Now, let me just ask you. Segment bisector is when you cut a segment in half and you make two equal parts. Okay? Did we cut anything in half here? No. And then parallel lines. Do these lines look parallel to you? No. So it couldn't be this one, it couldn't be this one. Then perpendicular lines. Do these two lines make a perfect 90-degree angle? No. So the only answer that it can be is A. If you just use process of elimination, you will be great. It'll be perfect. All right. Drawing of the day. Are y'all excited? I know. Me too. Let's see. Didn't think of a good one before this. Actually, okay. I got it. I did this one for Algebra 2, so if you have me for both classes, sorry. I don't think you'll have Algebra 2 and Geometry. If not, it's okay. If y'all don't know what I'm drawing by now, you just don't understand my drawing skills then. They're pretty good at this point. I've grown as an artist. I'll put his head up here. Alright, what did Miss Fisher draw? Wow, that's pretty good.